Hi YouTube friends, it's Nancy here, back with another process video. Here I am just showing you a botch up really. I went to use my silhouette and I knew my blade was blunt and I had a new one, but I thought I'd give it a go at cutting it, and it didn't cut through the paper. So what I thought I'd do is it's very similar to kind of like paper burnishing and kind of debossing, because you do leave a mark in the paper. So I decided that if I added some paint over where I'd tried to cut that title out, then the ink would actually sink into the cut marks where the sort of paper was bruised, and would make the title stand out. So that is what I decided to do. It's what you may call a happy accident. I think this technique would be really nice with maybe a large all-over background design, which I'm thinking I might keep that blade just to do that kind of thing. I don't know if that sounds silly, but anyway, I think that might be my plan. So I'm just using some paints, as I say, to add those colours over those two places. I'm going to put some at the bottom there because I know that's where my cluster is going to go. And to be honest, you know, I'm happy with how this layout came out, but I struggled more than I thought I was going to. Just because my original plan was to cut that title out and back it on another piece of paper, and I didn't kind of have that option, so I was left with a white piece of paper to deal with, which, you know, as you know, I don't deal well with just plain bits of paper, so that is what I decided to do. Because I couldn't really cut it down and mount it, I'm just running some dark brown watercolour around the edge, so it kind of looks like it's mounted. Even though I know it's not, it kind of gives that effect and just brings in that kind of darker colour to distract from that white. I mean, overall I'm really happy with how that looks, and I am just going to edit the video here because I had to wait for it to dry because I don't have my heat gun here. So we're going to cut to it being dry and marvellous anytime now. Ta-da! Right, so there we are, it's all dried up now and it's gone a bit lighter as well, so I'm really happy with how that's looking. I'm actually scrapbooking a picture of scrapbook layouts, so as you do. And this is the pile of the layouts from my 30 layout challenge, which I completed this year, beginning of this year. So really happy with how that's all come out, and this is actually layout 98 that I've done this year. So I've done 99 and I'm hoping to work on layout 100 this afternoon. So here I am just going through my different paper pads here to just mount up these pieces. And I did pull out this fresh cut collection because I was going to go with that as the papers, but I decide, you know, I'm not 100% sure that that's working, so I'm just going to go through all of my other paper pads, you know, which is a bit of a mission. It's going to take a bit of time. And I pull out that cork piece of paper. I have got another piece of that cork paper, so I may do some silhouette cuts out of that. As I said, I do have another blade, so it's not a problem. I just thought, I got to this point and I was like, oh, I can't be bothered to go and find a new blade and put it in. So, but yeah, happy accident. So I'm just mounting. I decided that that photo needed a little bit of brown around it, a darker colour, because it wasn't standing out enough on the page. Excuse me. I pull out these chipboard hearts and I mess around with these for quite a while, but they don't actually end up making it on the layout. I'm going through other bits and pieces that I've got lying around. This is the fresh cut die cut pack, so I'm actually just going through all the bits and pieces. I do want to apologise if you can hear any background noise, because I am in my caravan narrating this and it is raining. So, of course, you get to hear the rain on the roof. So I apologise for that, and I really hope it's not too distracting for you. So yeah, I'm just going through, and there wasn't actually much that I really wanted to use that kind of went with the kind of sort of more grungy feel of this. I mean, there's some lovely bits and pieces in there, but I don't think that's really going to work, so I just leave those 2 pieces out on the side there. And I actually think only one of them gets on the layout. So I'm pulling out my stash bag, because I had my crop bag with me when I was doing this layout in the caravan. So I pull out a doily, because I decide that, you know, I haven't done a layout with a doily lately, which is a little bit ridiculous because I haven't had them with me. So I'm doing that. I pull out this Prima Marketing pad of paper, just seeing if any of those are going to work. And I end up pulling one of those out, and in the process of pulling out I rip it. So I'm going to have to bear in mind when I'm using these that they do rip quite easily. So here I am, just kind of going back to layout and to start looking at how I'm going to cluster bits. I do play around with the position of that doily quite a bit. I'm just aware that there's kind of like that big sort of strip of white in the middle there, and actually maybe in hindsight I should have just painted over the whole background. But, you know, you live and learn. And I think, you know, if I was to sort of, you know, dull cut another piece of 12 by 12 paper like that and then paint over the whole background, that would be a really interesting effect. It almost, to me, in the final bit, looks like the letters have been stitched on. So I'm really happy with how that's come out. Yes, people, that is the life acetate, and it very nearly got on this layout. It didn't, but it very nearly did. Of all the layouts that I've tried to put it on so far, I thought this was going to be the one. I really did. I almost had my little celebration dance planned, which I was going to cut to in the video, me doing my little dance there, but no. Sorry, the dance is still on hold. It's my nemesis. It's my scrapbooking nemesis, that life acetate. And I know many of you guys out there who have commented on my videos also feel my pain with the life acetate. So you will see it for quite a period in this video, but it doesn't actually make it on. So I'm just going through my die cut box here, pulling out things that are the right colours to start with. As you know, that's my normal kind of method of selection for bits and pieces, to go through and sort out all the colours. I do apologise, there I am just flicking through and trying to find something to watch on Netflix. As you'd all know, for the last kind of 6 weeks I've been watching 24, rewatching all that, and I have now finished that, so I've got to wait for the new series to start. So I've kind of been a bit bereft of what I'm going to watch, but you guys have given me lots of suggestions, so that's good. I'm actually just watching The Unit at the moment, which I kind of started to watch a while back, so I've got back into that. I mean, it's just like 4 seasons, and it's actually, to be honest, got the guy out of 24 in it, and everything I seem to watch at the moment has people who have been in 24, so that's good. But yeah, so that's just what I was doing there. So I've now decided to sort of commit to sticking some of these layers down. That is a Polaroid frame from the die cut from a Stamping Up die set. So I cut it out of the coral Stamping Up paper as well. So I'm just looking at how I'm going to layer this all up, and I have a transparency as well. So I'm just looking at where I'm going to add that as well on there, and just kind of doing my cluster off of the paper. So I'm sticking it to each other, not to the paper. Just wanted to move that bottom card because it was kind of getting in the way. I'm sort of now happy where everything's going, so I'm going to stick that down. Apologise that you just get to see me filling my computer. Could have really edited that out, I do apologise. So again, I'm just sticking these bits and pieces down. I'm aware that piece kind of shows through the transparency, but my plan is to put another layer there anyway. So I'm just trying to work out where to put that second transparency. And I pull out that number 2, which is from the Dear Lizzie Polka Dot Party die cut pack. And I've put number 2 on there because this is my second time around of doing 30 layouts. So I will talk about that in the journaling. I decided to use this. I've only got a couple of these Polaroid frames from Dear Lizzie left, so I decided to pull one of those up. I do end up ripping that doily off because I decided I want more of it showing, so I just pull another brown doily off and stick that down. And as I said, I'm just trying to get it positioned, you know, right in that corner. And you know, like I said, you know, the good thing is, especially with like some of the ATG stuff, you can just keep pulling it apart. And you know, I know I've got another brown doily in my stash, so I wasn't too worried if I ripped it. So I'm just sticking that second part down and sticking it under a couple of those layers. That's a little banner from a normal cut apart sheet from Scraptastic. Just adding it there to that bottom cluster. That says my favourite, and again that's a piece from the Fresh Cut collection. It bothers me slightly because it's the American spelling of favourite, but I think I can probably live with it. So that piece says my fave. So again, it's like repetition of the same phrase, but that's absolutely, you know, fine with me. I don't worry about doing that on layout. I almost like it. I pulled that chipboard heart back again. Thinking I'm going to add that in, but it doesn't end up there. I have that arrow, and I was planning on putting that acetate arrow over it, but I decided not to. So I'm just thinking here. I actually end up putting that acetate arrow down at the bottom. There, it's quite subtle, but you know, it just adds another texture with using. I mean, that's what I like about using transparencies, because it adds a different texture. It adds like a shiny, you know, a shiny texture to the paper. So, which contrasts great with like the cardstock, the doilies. You know, I really like that kind of mixture of texture. I did try to get that yellow sticker on there, but it just wasn't standing out enough. That is even a gold camera, again, which was die cut and embossed from a Stamping Up set. It's not a Stamping Up set I own, but it's one that I borrowed from a friend at the crop. And again, that's cut from a piece of gold mirror card, and I really like how that you know, brings another kind of texture to it. Here I'm just going through my flare and button box. I'm just pulling out bits that are the right colour. I am actually getting quite short of buttons, but I'm going to try not to just go out and buy loads of buttons for the sake of it. I quite like the American Craft button packs because, you know, they're nice. They're what I call, a lot of them, like these ones, are matte buttons, so they're not shiny, so I quite like that. Decided I just needed another button to add to that top cluster. That flare that says fun is from a Scraptastic kit. I'm really happy with how that comes out. And then I've only got a couple of those Jilly Bean wood sprinkles left, and I love them. I really love them. I am on a spending freeze though, so I can't buy any more. And to be fair, I don't know if I'd want them on lots more. I think I've enjoyed using them, but I don't know if I'd use them, you know, if I had more, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm just adding my buttons to the top cluster there. There you'll see I have my drink on the table, and it is a cup with a lid, because I had a small incident where I accidentally put my paintbrush into my drink rather than into the water. So to stop any of those moments happening, I got one of my cups, my travel cups with a lid, so that couldn't happen. We've all done it, we know we have, it's not just me. So that's why that's on my desk there. I have put that Life die cut back in the box. I'm still playing around if I'm going to put that heart on, but I decided not to. I'm just looking in this Heidi swap die cut pack, but I really need to tip that all out and have a good look, but I decided I can't really be bothered to tip it out. So end up not putting any of those on. I think it'll be easier when I tip all those die cut packs into a box, but I don't actually have a box for them at the moment. This is the Simple Stories one. And again, I'm just searching through here to see if any of these are the right colours or have any of the right sayings. Just trying to see if any of these are going to work. I did contemplate about putting this file tab on, but it doesn't really work. I can't really get it to work anywhere, so decide to not add that. So that is then the end of this layout. I'm happy with how it is. So here are some close-up pictures, and hopefully you can see that title detail a lot more. So let me know what you think about this, guys, and I'll be back again soon.